Hey guys, this is Sarah, and in this short, shocking video, I'm going to teach you a weird yet effective system for getting any guy to drop his defenses and completely open up to you. To come completely clean about all the secret thoughts he's been having about you. To sweep you off your feet and beg you to commit to him faster and easier than you ever thought possible. And to open up and spontaneously share all of his deepest, most private thoughts and feelings with you without you even having to ask. And once you're in a relationship, you can use this powerful information to continually re-spark his commitment and desire for you, so that he'll love you and only you forever, and never so much as look at another woman ever again. And this will work for you even if he's been hurt before, even if he swears he doesn't have a girlfriend, even if he's totally emotionally damaged and afraid to commit, even if he's a total womanizer and just wants to play the field forever. In fact, as long as you watch this short video to the end and do exactly as I say, you'll be able to send shivers down his spine whenever you want. You'll be able to drive him crazy wanting to be near you, touch you, talk to you, and be your guy. And to enthusiastically and totally open up to a monogamous, committed, loving relationship with you. When you start using this step-by-step system on your man, he'll start to feel like you have a hold on him that he can't even explain. Like you are the one woman who actually understands him. He'll find himself bragging to his friends about how amazing you are and how you're different from all the other women he's ever met before. And he'll find himself sliding down his defenses and sharing his deepest, darkest, most personal secrets with you, the way he's never been able to do before, no matter how much he secretly wanted to. But first, I need to make a quick confession, and this is kind of embarrassing, but I've never been one of those women who guys think of as a catch. In fact, my whole life, I felt like I was constantly losing men I felt would be perfect for me to women who were wrong for them. Because I couldn't get them to just talk openly and be real with me. And I couldn't get them to drop their defenses, stop holding back, and just commit to me the way I desperately wanted them to. Whenever I met a guy, it felt like I was speaking French and he was speaking some crazy language I'd never heard of before. But then, one day, everything changed. A new guy showed up in my life, and for some reason, he fell for me. Before I knew it, he'd asked me for my number and was taking me out on romantic, exciting dates. He was pursuing me like a red-blooded Italian man out of a romance novel, and I loved it. And even though we still had those moments where we didn't really get each other, or we confused each other or hurt the other person without meaning to, well, I figured it didn't matter because I was smitten, and we loved each other anyway. So for 6 whole weeks, we were totally wrapped up in each other, and I was so ridiculously happy it was embarrassing. But one night, he came over to my place for dinner, and he seemed kind of frustrated about something. But when I asked him what was wrong, he just shrugged and said, "Never mind." Like I said, he'd had those moods before, so I didn't really think too much about it. But after dinner, instead of staying late to cuddle on the couch, he just said, "I'll call you later," and left. And then that's when I knew something was wrong. I called him immediately, but he wouldn't pick up his cell phone. And that whole night, he avoided my calls and all the anxious text messages I sent him. And when I finally got him on the phone the next day, he was weird and distant, and he wouldn't open up and be honest with me. I knew he was keeping me at arm's length. He was hiding something from me. But he wouldn't admit it, and it was infuriating and terrifying. That night, I couldn't sleep. I was cold and clammy all over. I felt this awful sense of fear and dread. I kept telling myself that everything was fine, but deep down, I knew something was up. You can tell what's coming next, can't you? He'd met someone else. When he finally came clean, it hurt so much, and I felt so stupid. I knew we'd had moments where we both confused the crap out of each other, and I knew it bothered him that we couldn't always instinctively just get what the other person felt and needed. But I had no idea he was so unhappy, that he was hiding so much from me. It was a total bolt from the blue that left me feeling shocked, because if someone who said they loved me could hide this kind of unhappiness and frustration from me, what else was I missing? And you know what hurt the most? It was when he said, "It's just different with her. She gets me. I don't have to explain myself or have all these long conversations about where the relationship is going. She gets who I am, and I can just be myself around her, the way I never could with you." So now he was out there with her somewhere, having the time of his life, falling in love, and forgetting about me. I was devastated. I missed him so much, and it was the darkest, coldest, loneliest feeling in the world. I started thinking maybe there was something wrong with me. And for a long time, I was a complete wreck. I couldn't even bring myself to start dating again. And I was so lonely that it literally hurt. And to be honest, this was such a painful time for me that I don't really want to dwell on it too much. Because I was alone, I was lonely, and it was so hard not to get bitter. But then, I stumbled across this weird secret question that changed everything for me. And this question held the surprising key to my eventual devastating success. So what is this big question? Well, it sounds kind of silly, but here it is. What is the one skill that separates women who find their prince charming from women who don't? It's the ability to talk to guys. And not just talk to them, but actually communicate with them on a deep primal level, using the secret coded language they use to talk to each other. Now let me ask you a question. Have you ever sat around and watched two guys talk and just known in your bones that they're talking a deep and primitive language? A language that makes no sense to you, but that makes all the sense in the world to them? A language that permits them to bond with each other, laugh at each other's jokes, get each other almost instinctively, and that enables them to exclude those who don't know that language from ever even entering the secret inner circle? Because men use this language all the time, and most women have no idea how this language works, what the code phrases are. And yet, this language, this secret special code of phrases and meanings, is the one thing that allows a man to make snap judgments and instant gut decisions about women like you, and to figure out whether you deserve to come into his inner circle or not. And guess what else? Every time you talk to a guy, every time you meet one, date one, even have sex with one, he's using his secret language on you to see if you get it. This is why you can't communicate with men right now. Why every attempt has blown up in your face and cost you the love you deserve so far. Because you don't know his secret language, and he knows you don't know. And so he decides to keep you out and not let you in. Of course, he might not think about this rationally. In fact, he might think to himself that he really, really likes you. But at the emotional, instinctive level, it's already too late. The door's slammed shut, and now he can't let you in, even if he wants to. Let me give you an example of what this looks like in real life. Have you ever felt like you and your man are almost literally speaking different languages? Because to all extents and purposes, that's exactly what's really happening. It's like when you say something like, "I need to talk to you about our relationship," and straight away, his body language changes. He withdraws emotionally and becomes very cold and defensive. Well, that's because he's a guy. And by saying these words or words like them, you're actually triggering one of his deepest, most powerful instincts of all. The instinct to withdraw from you and protect his masculinity at all costs. Even if that means you get hurt, feel confused, or start to think your relationship is heading for the rocks. He literally can't help it. It's just how guys are made. Because here's the thing when it comes to men in love. A man doesn't fall in love with you. He falls in love with the way he feels about himself when you're around. Basically, he needs to feel like he's winning, like he's taking care of you and making you happy. And when he feels that way, he feels like a man and he gets a surge of strength, energy, and desire to make you even happier. So he comes closer and closer and just bathes you in his downpour of attention and love and emotional closeness. This is why most guys are usually such awesome boyfriends right at the start of a new relationship. Because he can see with his own two eyes how happy you are to be with him. And all this energy and approval is what allows him to redouble his efforts and make you happier than ever. Because when you're happy, he's happy. And now he has the strength and energy to just reach out and drench you in all the love and happiness you could ever want. It's like the two of you are feeding off each other and just getting stronger and stronger. But it works the other way too. Because if he starts to feel like you're not happy, then in a subtle, unconscious way that he can't quite put his finger on, he starts feeling like a failure, like less of a man. And now he starts to lose the emotional strength required to open up, reach out, and give you the love you need. And he starts pulling back, withdrawing into himself, getting cagier with emotions, telling you less and less, and you both get trapped in this horrible cycle of backbiting, defensiveness, pulling away, and pain. All because he feels like you're not happy. Now, you may be thinking that your man knows you're a happy woman, that he knows how much you love him. Yet here's the thing. Unless you know the signs and words he looks for, the words that prove to him beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are happy, then I can virtually guarantee you that your man is harboring some doubts. Doubts that you're eating away at his sense of worth, his sense of pride and strength. Doubts that occasionally force him to pull away, act cool and distant, and create some space between you. Just so he can pull back, defend himself, and try to feel better. And even if you literally scream the truth at him, he still won't be able to hear it because his brain works differently from yours, and he's literally not speaking the same language as you. But you can't expect him to learn your language. If you want to get through to him and finally start understanding him so that he can start reaching out again and smothering you in all that love and security, you need to step up and take charge here. And you need to learn how to talk to him because it's not going to happen any other way. And this is the only sure way you can avoid the kind of future that most other couples are facing. A future where the spark is dying, where the passion and excitement and fun just fizzle out. A future where you slowly but surely fall out of love with each other and start acting more like roommates. People who get on well but don't connect in any meaningful, passionate way. And it's horrible, I know, yet it happens to almost everyone. It's like we all just forget about love and stop making it a priority in our lives. And then one day you wake up and realize that he doesn't care about sweeping you off your feet anymore, and that you've managed to murder the love that you once felt for each other. Now you're just left with a dead relationship of convenience, and he's looking at other women. And it's too late to go back. And it's all because you didn't know how to keep the passion alive, to stay connected in a meaningful, committed relationship, and to keep him focused and passionate and crazy about you. This is why he backs off sometimes. This is why he clams up, starts acting tough, and pulls away from you. And it's why you'll never be able to communicate properly with a man until you know how to communicate with him using the words that will get him to wake up and stop playing the game, and to realize how amazing you are, how lucky he is, and get him to start fantasizing about you, begging you to spend more time with him, and drive him wild wanting you to be his and only his. And trust me, learning how to do all that is actually a lot easier than you might think, because all you need to know are the right words. And once you have them, you'll be able to trigger his heart to open up and let you in. And it works on silent guys, tough guys, bored guys, guys who drive you crazy because they just clam up and give you the silent treatment, even the most distant and emotionally broken guys. When I first figured this out, I could not believe how easy everything was. But even more, I was blown away by how easily my mind opened up and absorbed these new techniques. How my understanding of how men think and feel about women changed overnight. And how meeting, attracting, and forming powerful emotional connections with smart, sexy men was suddenly as easy as pie. And as delicious as candy. So if it's so easy, why aren't you enjoying the love relationship you've always wanted right now? Great question. And here's the real great answer. Back in 2007, a professional dating coach named Maribel Summers got really fed up at how many women were wasting their time feeling invisible and unseen around men. She wanted to figure out what we were all doing wrong. So she started to study the way naturals, women who effortlessly enjoy happy, committed, deeply connected relationships with them, acted with men. She spent years traveling around the world meeting, interviewing, and studying with the world's top dating experts, picking their brains and winnowing out the secret truth about what it takes to crack open a guy's heart and get him to open up and come clean with a woman. All the things guys wish women would do, but would never ever tell you to your face. Next, she surveyed over 20,000 women from all over the world, pried her way into their secret, most private lives, and used her expertise and her years of research studying with the greats to answer their deepest, most burning questions about men, relationships, and what guys really want from a woman. Basically, she dedicated her life to helping women like you and me to learn how to actually communicate with men in a way that gets results. To figuring out and sharing the secret, almost magical phrases that virtually hypnotize a man into lowering his defenses and opening up to you. And the time-tested, proven words that will break through his barriers and bond his heart unbreakably to yours. You might not have heard of her, but she's actually a pretty big deal. She's kind of like the Oprah of online dating, because just like Oprah, she knows what works and she isn't afraid to say it. After years of study and research, she figured out a simple, shockingly effective system to effortlessly transfer new powerful communication and attraction techniques into almost any woman's mind. Almost like downloading her own brain into your own head, so that you too can start meeting, attracting, and committing the man of your choice in just 10 days from now. So what do men really want deep down inside? Well, it's actually very, very simple. They want you to make them feel love. And they want you to do it in such a way that they don't even want to resist. They want you to crawl inside their brains and activate their deepest, strongest, most irresistibly powerful masculine instincts. so they can feel the surge of power and energy that comes from wanting you so bad that they literally can't think about anything else. Because above all other things, he wants to feel the thrill of desiring you, chasing you, winning you, and finally making you his woman. Of course, if you were to ask a guy this, he'd most likely look at you like you were crazy. But the truth in this case is hidden from the naked eye, and there's a huge, complex world of truth lurking just below the surface that you don't even know is there. And amazingly, neither does he. He doesn't know what he wants from you right now. On the surface, he probably thinks it's lots of crazy sex and living the single life the rest of the time. At least that's what he thinks until you initiate an attraction sequence that suddenly has his heart exploding in his chest, his emotions roaring in his ears, and his fingers curling with desperation just to get a chance to be with you, talk to you, pull you in close, win you for himself, and make you his girlfriend. Because what men are really attracted to is a woman who triggers his emotions so deeply that resistance is not an option. Yet who can do it so subtly that he doesn't even realize it's happening, and suddenly, that's when he realizes he's got no choice. He has to be with you. This is it when it comes to guys. Everything else is a lie. Let me give you an example of what it looks like in real life. You already know that I'm nothing special when it comes to guys. I'm definitely no natural. I'm not young, I'm not rich, and I definitely don't have a perfect model's body. But when I learned about the specific magic phrases that work to crack open a guy's heart and unleash the passionate Prince Charming inside, it was like I had discovered a secret, almost unfair advantage over other women. I started getting so many texts and phone calls and emails from interested men that my girlfriends started pulling me aside to ask what my secret was. And inside of just 10 days, I met and attracted the man I'm now engaged to, and we began the most incredible relationship of my life. And not to gloat or anything, but this guy literally worships the ground I walk on. And the best part is, he loves me for my mind. So even though I enjoy dressing up and looking good, I know it's not the most important thing. Now he loves me with makeup and without makeup. He loves me whether I'm all gussied up or slobbing around at my home in my gross old bathrobe. And because he loves me for who I am, I know our bond will stand the test of time. Which means I don't have to waste my life pretending to be someone I'm not. I don't have to be afraid of what might happen if I gain weight or get older. I can be who I really am, and the two of us can grow old together in love. And it's all because of the simple, almost embarrassingly easy communication and attraction techniques I use to attract, date, and commit him. When I saw how well these techniques were working, I knew I was onto something incredible. And I decided I had to let other women know about these powerful little-known truths too. So I told my friends about what I'd learned, and they put it to the test to see if their results were as good as I'd hoped. And their results blew mine so far out of the water that it was incredible. Literally shocking. These women couldn't even believe what was happening to them. I felt like I'd given food to starving prisoners. Suddenly, these women were running wild amongst an absolute riot of male attention. They were getting attention, phone calls, emails, and dates more easily than they'd ever thought possible. And not just any dates, but dates with men they found almost scarily attractive. Men who pursued them eagerly, who spontaneously and willingly brought up things like exclusivity and commitment, men who fell head over heels for them. Smart, funny, attentive men who made their jaws drop and their knees go weak. All their uncertainty, their insecurity, the private worries about getting older and being alone, all of that just exploded. And they began to enjoy a level of interest and powerful male attraction that they never even dreamed of experiencing before. Now, it used to be that only the naturals could get this level of eager attention and powerful commitment from any man they chose. But when you start speaking the secret language of men to the man in your life, you'll notice these dramatic transformations taking place in your relationships too. He'll start to respond to you immediately. You'll discover how to use the scary female powers that will get under his skin and make him go crazy for you. You'll be able to hook his attention, glue his eyes to your face, and get him to open up and share his thoughts with you, his deepest, most private inner feelings. All by making him see that you understand him at the deep primal level, simply by speaking to him using the words he understands and uses himself. The words and phrases that most other women don't even know exist. And he'll be willing to stand up for you, fight for you, and do anything it takes just to keep you around. You can stop feeling like just a roommate with your partner and reignite the spark again. And you can tease him, taunt him, and get him wanting more and more from you. without ever having to ask for his attention, beg for validation, or ever feel that shaky, distant feeling of insecurity and worry again. Okay, Sarah, I get it. I can use the words to transform my relationships with men, but how do I actually do it? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because with your permission, I'd like to magically install these exact words and phrases into your head, along with the exact instructions on how and when to use them, so you're never caught out again. How? By introducing you to a simple program called Conversation Chemistry. How to use the power of communication to create and maintain unstoppable attraction with the opposite sex. And in case you were wondering, here's what conversation chemistry is not. It's not just some vague, basic guide to meeting guys that you can get anywhere off the internet. It's not just a bunch of cheesy conversation one-liners that don't apply to your specific life and goals. It's not going to deprive you of your personality or make you do embarrassing things that feel unnatural and weird. And when you apply the principles contained inside, you'll never have to waste one more moment with a man who's not worthy of your attention, affection, and love, ever again. So if it's not any of those things, then what is it? Well, you can expect to be meeting and attracting plenty of men you personally like and find gut-wrenchingly attractive inside of just 10 days from now. And if you're already in a relationship, I'll show you how to melt away his boredom and distance and ignite a powerful fire of heat and desire in his mind. A fire that will have him pursuing you, chasing you, and earning your attention, and feeling chemistry just like when you first got together. You'll discover the exact words and phrases you can quickly use in any situation to crack his defenses and get him to sit down, focus, and open up to you. Plus, the one massive technique you can use to get your man to be the one who opens up and talks about your relationship, so that he's the one who actually wants to talk about how things are going. You'll be able to create a feeling of intense desire in his mind to sit you down and make sure you love him. A desire that forces him to pepper you with questions, attention, and affection until he's satisfied that you're not going anywhere. And if you do it right, he'll never be satisfied, which means he stays focused and committed forever. Next, how about trying the patented mood matching technique that creates a powerful sense of connection and sexual chemistry just by talking to him? This is awesome if you really want him to make the first move, and when you want him to feel like it was all his idea. And you can use it to create a powerful bond immediately. It's super handy dandy for when you sense he's pulling away slightly. Do you ever feel like your man sometimes shuts off when you try to talk to him? Like all the giggles and good times and closeness just melted away somehow. And now you guys are more like roommates or business partners than two people who are deeply in love? Because with patented relationship bonder phrases, you'll be able to melt away the coldness like icicles in the sun, and have him turning to you with his thoughts, feelings, and desires. You'll be giggling like teenagers and feeling giddy and passionate again like a couple in the very first flush. Now let me ask you, are you a woman who has so much to say but doesn't always know how to say it? Because if so, then I can totally relate. Because when I was single, I used to feel like I had a whole world of amazing observations and funny, witty stories to tell. If only I could find the perfect guy to help me open up and actually say what was on my mind. And guess what? When you get to the information on page 160, you can quit wasting your time waiting for that perfect guy to draw you out, and instead, take control of all the intention for yourself, and wow him with your incredible ability to draw him in, your sexy feminine confidence, and your unerring ability to get all the laughs. Now how about your sex appeal? Not to put too fine a point on it, but this is something that's valued pretty highly by a lot of guys. And a lot of women just don't know how to present themselves to guys in a way that appeals to men at that irresistible gut level. And no, I'm not talking about your looks. The good news for you is when you check out the massive section on flirting, sex appeal, and creating unstoppable chemistry with the man you like, you'll learn how to draw eyes and stares like a model, even if you look nothing like one. Plus, you can use the powerful, proven, nonverbal flirting techniques to create smoldering tension without even opening your mouth, so you can get the guy you want every time, even if you can't think of a single thing to say. And you're going to love the chapter on getting in with groups, where you'll learn how to get anyone to slide down their defenses and instantly feel like they have a special bond with you that no one else shares. Need to move things to the next level fast? Well, with the secrets you'll find on page 214, you'll get the Black Book Manual techniques for kicking it up a notch and upping the sexual tension. You'll learn how to tell if he wants you, how to find out if he wants to see you again, even how to subconsciously make him think about kissing you and crave to take you in his arms and pull you in close. And yes, this will work for you, even if you hardly ever have sex these days and you feel like the spark's already died. Don't care about dating and just want to be really, really happy with one special man? Check out the last entire third of the system. It's devoted exclusively to mastering relationship priorities and communication techniques with men that will almost literally enable you to read his mind. You'll know when he's happy, when he's scared, when he's lying to you. You'll know what he's thinking about you, even the stuff he'd never say to your face, why he gets angry, even why he pulls away sometimes. And you'll know exactly what to do and say to him to wake him up, focus his attention, and make him fall in love or fall back in love. And prove to him with emotions more powerful than words that you are the only woman for him. Just by learning about the tiny little words that you can say anytime to get him to bring down the barriers, lower the defenses, and finally come clean about what he really thinks and what he really feels about you. My name is Sarah, and I'm one of the thousands of women who use conversation chemistry to transform my relationships with men. And here's my promise to you. If you can read simple English and speak it too, then conversation chemistry will get you the exact words you need to ignite an unstoppable heat in your relationships with men, and have you giggling and blushing like a teenager again with a man who's your emotional equal, a man who loves you, who treasures you, and who can't wait to get you alone each night so he can hold you close, make you smile, and send trembles of anticipation throughout your entire body, just by using these simple techniques like thousands have already. Conversation chemistry is valued at $97. Yet I know that $97 is a big chunk of change to some of us, and because I want you to experience the pleasure and power of knowing that you can make men want you, and if the one you're with now doesn't work out, you can always get another one, or maybe a better one. So that's why I'm going to give you the full system for a price that's going to drop your jaw, which means you won't be paying $97 for your copy of Conversation Chemistry today. Not $67, not even $57. Your total investment today, if you act now, is just one easy payment of only $47. All you have to do is look below this video right now and click on the big Add to Cart button that just appeared. Click it now, get the material, and use it. I guarantee it will change your life. You'll love the way your relationships and confidence with men transform. Plus, if you act now, I'll also give you these amazing bonuses at no extra charge. The How to Double Commitment in Your Relationship ebook, which tells you the single most important thing you can do to improve your relationships with men, boost your love life, and this has everything to do with how successful you are with men. The Increase in Your Social Status and Desirability Seconds Handbook that allows you to understand what's really happening in any social situation and put that knowledge to your immediate, devastating success. The Femininity Unleashed Roundtable Discussion with 2 professional dating coaches, which will have you sending shivers of anticipation throughout your man's whole body. He'll be daydreaming about you all day and will be literally drumming his fingers on his desk because he can't wait to get home, get you alone, and wrap you in his arms. Also, if you act now, I'll give you a special access to my one-time only super bonus, the How to Read a Man's Body Language interview with dating experts. So you can read him like a book and gain private VIP access to his mind, his thoughts, and how he really feels about you. And this is awesome if you're worried that he might pull away, that he might cheat on you, or that he might be holding out on you emotionally on some level. Because you'll finally be able to look into your man's face and see the truth for yourself. The truth that he's too scared to say out loud, but secretly wishes you just get. So let's add it all up. As part of this special limited time promotion, you get instant digital access to the Conversation Chemistry System, How to Double Commitment ebook, the Femininity Unleashed Roundtable Discussion with 2 pro dating coaches, the Increase Your Social Status and Desirability in Seconds handbook, and our super bonus, the How to Read a Man's Body Language interview with dating experts. That's more than $200 worth of value for less than $50. All you have to do is click the big Add to Cart button that you can see now below this video. You'll get instant access to all the conversation chemistry tools that have been laid out for you. And you'll be on your way to creating chemistry and love in a committed, cheat-proof, red-hot relationship tonight. And you'll finally experience for yourself what it means to live inside a love bubble that wonderful secret world that's only for you and him. But you really do have to act now. We're experimenting with this massive discount as a limited time promotion. But any day now, we have to raise the price back up to where it originally was, or maybe even double it. So act now to make sure you can get in while there's still time. Plus, unlike those other hokey-pokey internet relationship and dating books, with this system, your results are guaranteed. Not only do I have the social proof in the form of thousands of satisfied clients, but Maribel even told me she's so confident in her techniques that she's going to take all the financial risk herself, which means you get to try conversation chemistry for a full 60 days. Read it, use the material, and see the incredible results for yourself. And after 60 days, if for some reason you're not absolutely over the moon in heaven with your results, we'll happily and quickly give you back every last penny. No questions, no hassle, and no email back and forth. Plus, you even get to keep the course and all the bonuses, just as a thank you for trying it out. Look below this video right now. Click the big yellow button that says Add to Cart to claim your massive discount now. You're just moments away from the chemistry, the fun, the sex, the love that you've always dreamed of getting. The security of having that unbreakable bond with a man who knows you for the woman you really are deep down inside. The relief and happiness of knowing you finally found the one thing in life that other people spend their whole lives searching for. A relationship that stands the test of time, that grows stronger as the years go by, and an end to the ceaseless doubt and insecurity of endless dating, and the pointless heartbreak of the dead-end cul-de-sac relationships. Listen, when you understand how attraction is formed and how he experiences your love over time, that's when you sit back and relax and bask in the warm feelings of security and affection that he's constantly drenching you in. Wouldn't you love to feel this happening in your own life? To sit back and simply receive his adoration, his commitment, and his attention instead of having to ask for it, beg for it, or trying to earn it somehow? Because if so, then it looks like you've got a decision to make. So how about we make it a super easy one? Basically, you've got 3 simple options here. Option 1, you could carry on doing what you've always done, hoping against hope that things will somehow work themselves out, that you'll meet the perfect man, that'll feel the same way about you, that you'll stay together, that one of you won't cheat or stray, that you won't lose the passion, the closeness, the fun and laughter and attraction the way so many other couples eventually do. Then there's option 2. You could go out there and try to use what you've already learned here today. And yes, that will get you some results. I just hope you've been taking great notes, because when you're talking about love, the stakes are pretty high, and it can get pretty lonely out there. Or there's option 3, the smart option. You could start acting like a woman who respects herself enough to be loved by a man who's worthy of your heart. You could pull yourself together, shake off the past, and realize that you deserve to be happy now, that you want what's best for your life, right now and in the future. And wake up to the fact that you only get one life, and it's happening right now. Listen, one of these days, and sooner than you think, you'll wake up and realize that most of your life is behind you now, that you've had your opportunities already, you've drunk the cream, and that your chance for a life full of love and security and fun and romantic happiness has gone. It's passed you by. And that when you had your chance to reach out and seize your dreams, your cravings, your answer to all the loneliness and doubt, you missed that chance. You simply didn't take it. And you allowed the rest of your life to roll on by without you, while you just watched from the sidelines. And now it's too late. You waited too long. And all those chances at romance, lust, love, and lasting, happy commitment have crumbled away into dust. Don't let that happen to you. This is your chance right now. And right here, right now, is maybe the most important decision you'll ever make about your future. Because what does anything else matter if you don't have love? You already know what'll happen if you do nothing. You've been down that road, and you know exactly where it ends. And if you want to avoid ending up in yet another relationship cul-de-sac, a heartbreaking, time-wasting dead end, then now is your chance to break free from the loneliness, the confusion, the doubt and fear, and seize the future you really want. And remember, you risk nothing. If you don't see the exact results you crave inside of 60 days, you pay nothing. And our friendly support staff is always just a quick email away. Not that you'll need help anyway, because when you learn how to use the right words with your man, you won't have time to send any silly emails. You'll be too busy reading his sexy little love notes, bragging to your friends about the heat in your relationship, and spending day after day wrapped in the total security and happiness of his strong, committed, unwavering love. Look below this video now. Click the big Add to Cart button to claim your dream relationship right now. You'll finally discover the magic key to unlocking his head, crawling into his thoughts, and figuring out what he really wants from a woman, from a date, from a wife. You'll finally know how to communicate your deepest, most private thoughts and fears to him, and in such a way that your vulnerabilities and flaws actually draw him closer and make him want you more, not less. You simply do not want to delay for 1 second longer. Remember, we slashed the price by a whooping 50%, but we'll be raising that back up any day now. So act now before it's too late. And remember, relationships are the most important thing in this life. Yet most people just give up on their dreams. They get too beaten down by the rejection, the bad dates, and the painful breakups. And they just settle for a relationship that's okay, but one that never truly fulfills their deepest, most imperative, most authentic heart's desire for lasting, honest love. And how will you feel at the end of a long and lonely life? If you could have had all the love and joy and sexy, happy, unbreakable commitment you always dreamed of having, and you just let it slip away out of sheer apathy. Remember, everything you do is a choice. And by choosing to continue to do nothing about this part of your life, you're choosing to embrace loneliness, fear, and doubt. Yet if you have to make a choice, and you do, why not choose love instead? Why not take this chance on happiness, make a leap of faith, and prove to yourself that you haven't given up on love, that you do deserve more, and that for once in your life, you're going to choose to take control, to reach out and grab a hold of what you really want, and never ever let it go. And if what you really want is love, commitment, and a lasting relationship of committed equality with a man who loves you for who you really are, who loves you once all the barriers come down, the masks come off, and you're emotionally naked in front of him, then choose to make the only decision a smart woman can make. Seize the future you want with both hands before it slips away forever. And click the big Add to Cart button you see below this video right now, before it's too late.